have earned your place in history. Inscribe your glorious name here. You have earned your place in history. Inscribe your glorious name here.
The unending ocean of forests, buried deep in that forest, tucked away neatly within a blanket of twilight, lies a quaint little cabin. And in that cabin
is a bunch of guys who's a bunch of bullshit.
Welcome to the Sleepy Cabin Podcast, aka Sleepy Cast.
This is a
Because it's like a 20-something year like deal, dude. Like, especially if you look at people who are like 20 in their 20s and they still with their parents. Mm-hmm. If you have a kid when you're 30, you're not going to be free until you're like 60-something. Like in your 50s.
Marriage is utterly frightening to me because the way people are, I can't imagine people not. Everybody gets sick of each other at some point. Like,
Yeah,
everybody gets mad at each other. But with marriage, you're ultra locked in now. It's like now you're.
I don't get the actual point of it. The first thing everyone says, which pisses me off, is, "Oh, it's taxes, tax reasons."
My friend is
fuck that, dude. You lose half your stuff in the.
I'll pay more and be happier. Than, Oh, I gotta save a little money. Let's be miserable.
Let's lock in permanently so you can both gain weight and get depressed.
My friend's actually getting married, and he's 23 years old.
Idiot.
And
Corey, Corey,
dumb.
bet money. How long do you think it's gonna last?
Well, here's the thing, though. Like, I feel like it's one of those things where it's also like where your life is going. Most people get married when they feel like they have nothing else going for them.
I guess we're fucking weird.
And, there's people listening now who are married. You know, it works for some people.
Okay, you're
kill yourself. Do it in front of your spouse.
But even the people that I know that aren't necessarily unhappy or miserable, they just seem. I don't know. It almost seems like they're just kind of what do they do now? I feel like they wake up every morning and they're like,
I just don't get the point. Why can't you be someone's girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever for 20 years? You can be someone's partner without getting married. I don't. What's the difference?
Our society has decided marriage needs to be this.
Like if you like someone,
it's a contract. It's not this thing from
That's
God.
What I'm saying.
It's a goddamn contract made up by the government.
Marriage, like when I see marriage as like obviously like it's a huge commitment, but I see it as more than that. I see it as like that next step. Okay, now that I'm married, I have like a whole other plethora of things to worry about now. On like not only
then you have to worry about now do I have kids? And if you have, it's just a whole
it's like a whole other thing to worry about. I'm fucking worried about like taxes now. I'm not about ready to jump into the marriage boat and worry about that shit.
I actually I've never seen a convincing argument that convinced me why people couldn't, if you like somebody that much, just move it together and just remain boyfriend girlfriend.
It's called love, right?
Or whatever. Partners with somebody, whatever you want to call it.
You just can't be.
If you like someone, you want to live with them, you can do that. It's easy. They just live inside your house. It's not that hard. You don't have to do the whole marriage thing.
Well, part of the driving force is, I don't know how this happened, but women in particular, they've been brainwashed, conditioned since a young age that
they have to get married.
There's a certain thing they have to do. They have to have the perfect wedding. They need their ring.
There's two things.
Which the whole diamond ring thing is in itself a whole fucked up conspiracy that started like 50 years ago, but that's a whole other topic.
There's two things you're taught when you're growing up before you even become an adult. You need to get married and you need to get your dick clipped. I forget what the term is, but
circumcised.
I'm sorry, but Corey.
You don't really have a choice.
That happens before you have a. That's generally how.
You're not sentient when that happens. Your brain is fucking egg yolk, dude.
They tell you that. They say you need to get married and your dick's gonna get clipped.
Well, did you get your dick clipped?
Was it optional when you were like
20 or something?
I didn't even get a say in it. Just happened.
Some people get it done later, but generally that's a very rare thing.
That's a bad idea. Probably.
I think that is another thing that is fucked up, where you don't even necessarily need to have that happen ever, but at some point, religious people or somebody decided
they don't want to get it dirty or infected. Like they say, like the person's not going to know how to clean it, so he's going to like piss and cum inside of it, and eventually it's going to start molding and then you're
And
gonna,
granted, some people might.
Some people are probably very unsanitary
Yeah,
with that.
some people
but I'm
probably-
sure there's guys who are circumcised who are bigger fucking slobs than people who are uncircumcised.
yeah, like I've seen tons of people who are just disgusting, and you can see their dick plain as day. That's not hitting.
Let's talk about basic crotch hygienics for a second. Just for a second.
Okay.
This really peeves me, Jeff.
Or what
it
peeves
really
you?
irks me.
You just
Guys
have
who
to,
don't.
you have to clean your.
No. I'm very cleanly down there. I am fine. I'm talking about guys who aren't. Guys who don't
How do
wash
you-
their testicles. Guys who the shaving.
Are you talking about guys who take a shower but don't?
Don't do the V. They don't do the V.
Okay.
They don't do the asshole and the gooch and the thing.
Okay.
They don't do the V.
Then you're supposed to go between the under your
I
asshole.
don't do that. I go like all around. I go on.
No, but it is in the ball.
Well, you should scrub your whole
What
body.
have you actually had? Are you aware of anybody who? Well, I guess we've had this conversation.
I feel there's people out there. Can I say, by the
If
way?
you're 300 pounds, I guarantee you that's probably the hardest thing in your life. So you're probably not going to do
yeah.
that.
Can I also say, seriously, I'm not trying to white knight here in any way, but I think balls are the grossest things. Whenever I see a girl put balls in her mouth like a porn or something, I cringe. I encourage anybody out there
Balls?
to not touch my balls. Yeah, don't
That
do
doesn't
my
bother
balls.
me.
Balls?
Balls are like they're all
Maybe you're looking at old saggy 50-year-old balls and you're fucking you know what?
sweat. Balls accumulate sweat. They accumulate sweat in the little stray
Sad,
hairs.
balls can look quaint. They don't always have.
Whenever
like,
girls put
fucking
balls in their mouth, I'm just like, what do you
sags
don't do that. I would. You don't have to do that.
This
I don't.
episode gonna be called like Food and Balls. Or something.
Food and balls. There you
to
go.
them. Balls.
But you agree with me a little bit. Like you never saw a girl put balls in her mouth and just went, oh, don't do that. You don't need to. You don't need to do
You
that.
never really see someone put balls
I
in their
don't
mouth.
know.
It's generally like one ball.
And it doesn't feel that good, to me at least.
Most people, they don't do it. They kind of just like suck on it and then
Yeah, I don't think it feels good. I'm just like, yeah, don't knock that off.
They're not going to stick there. They're not
I'm
gonna,
not a fan
it's
of the
like putting
ball
a fist
sucking.
in your
It
mouth.
doesn't do anything for me. And it's just I feel maybe it's because I feel so conflicted about.
I think sticking your dick up somebody's ass is way grosser than.
I agree with that
balls.
too. I'm not a fan of that myself. But whatever, yeah, balls don't. All vinegary and salty and sweaty.
Well, thanks for
and I
the-
clean my balls. My point is also shave trim. It's like a beard stubble, you know. You gotta trim your pubic hair. There's like a limit,
This
or else you're a maniac.
This is health hour.
This is health hour.
V clean every time you take a shower, kids.
I mean, obviously do your preferences, but for Christ's sake, be sanitary.
What if you're fat?
Sweat goes down there, so if you have hair everywhere and you don't wash,
If you're fat, you can't V clean. That's
if
no
you're fat,
longer
kill
V.
yourself. Buy a gun for this is not a joke. Buy a
I'm
gun.
endlessly fascinated by people who are morbidly obese and how they clean themselves.
That's I was
They
about to
don't.
say
That's
it.
what
I was
they do.
about to
Well, they
say
don't.
it.
Don't. They just don't
But-
do it. What would push you to kill yourself, realistically? Like cancer. If they were like, you have cancer, you're gonna die, Jeff.
If I lost all my senses, like if I was blind and I couldn't like hear, if I
You're a
turned,
vegetable, basically.
yeah, I would probably just put a gun to my head. Probably, I'd have no problem doing that. I think
If the Jonas Brothers broke up, I would probably kill myself.
they did break up, didn't they? Or no?
That was the one.
Oh, that was another one. The Wonder.
Wow, you and I both know about that.
I can't.
That's sad.
Because unfortunately, because
No, I know.
we were talking about this, but the Twitter thing.
That's what I'm saying. It infects you.
Teens,
That's the worst.
teens love posting bullshit.
That is just like, for me, the concept of killing yourself over a fucking band breaking up. It's like, really, like.
I wonder if there ever was any suicides related to any like bands breaking up.
Well, I'll say that. I want to say
It's
this.
very common, actually. The Beatles
Oh.
probably had a few people kill themselves over it.
I think the worst part about teens who kill themselves, and this is getting morbid
Yeah,
again.
here we go. Teens will kill themselves.
The worst part is, teens are inherently a little cringy. They're still trying to
Emotionally unstable.
Yeah, they're trying to figure themselves out. They don't really understand the world, and there's a lot of cringe things they do. And when a lot of them kill themselves, when they, I keep using. There's this one example I keep thinking about. This kid, he put on a Blink-182 song in his room, like a cringy.
Feeling it?
What?
Feeling it?
Is it the name of the song? I don't know. He put on a Blink-182 song.
Why'd you pick that one, Corey?
It's
That
Christmas
was
Eve.
really cringy, and then he
That was
hung
pretty
himself in
cringy.
his room. And I can just imagine how
If he was
the EMTs coming in and rolling their eyes at this whole situation. They're like, "Oh my God,
Here we
another one
go.
of these."
Do you know a kid on my block where I used to live hung himself with a shoelace?
So if you're gonna kill yourself,
be cool about it.
yeah, don't do it in a way where everybody's gonna like be embarrassed about it.
No, like get a cool football jacket.
Yeah,
eat a steak. throw some football around.
Yeah,
and kill yourself.
at least do it in a way where people are like, all right.
Some respect and dignity.
So you hang yourself with a smile on your face with like some cool sunglasses on. You have 6 cigarettes in your mouth. No one would expect that.
Don't do it in that cringy internet way, because everybody's gonna laugh at you. Everybody's gonna be like,
it's not cool. That's not.
They're gonna be mocking
what's in your head does not translate well. It's
At
not
least
going
do
to
fucking research and find like what's cool now, like Little Wheezy. Have Little Wheezy playing when you hang yourself.
I think what we need is what we need is a nice list of timeless ways to kill yourself. Not killing yourself. Ways of killing yourself are almost like tattoos. They go out of fashion.
Yeah,
a few
you look
years,
stupid.
people think back. They're like, "Oh man, the way he killed himself."
So lame, dude.
So boring.
That's hilarious. It was like, yeah, they laugh, they like joke about it.
That's horrible. Those people are horrible.
You should put in a book, like nice and fancy, just like
write a book.
A manual.
Yeah.
Write a book called The Appropriate Ways to Kill Yourself.
Yeah.
And then as suggested by the Sleepy Cat.
You don't want the way you kill yourself to go out of style for at least 50 years. I mean,
you want everyone else who's alive who remembers you to be dead.
But you also want to be considerate of others when you do it.
Yeah, no, you don't want to be a psycho.
You don't want to take anybody out with you.
No.
You don't want to make a mess. I mean, these people. I'll tell you what.
Or maybe you do, to make it long lasting. If you walk.
Damn, Corey, holy fuck!
If you walk into a building. Blaring Blink-182 holding a dynamite, that's good.
What are the most inconsiderate... let's talk about this. What are the most inconsiderate ways to kill yourself? I think being hit by a train, that makes a big mess.
And it makes everyone late for the thing. You don't want to do that.
I think one of the worst is if you kill yourself in your bathtub and your body is left to sit in that water.
Oh my God.
They don't find you for 3 weeks. That has got to be the worst thing to clean up.
That chick in California who crawled into the water tank and fucking died and ruined everybody's water. What an inconsiderate. That's horrible.
Yeah, you don't want to jump off buildings.
No, look, buy a nice suit, get a press, lay in your bed, put a tarp on the bed, be considerate. Hey, call the police, be like, hey, I'm going to kill myself in 5 minutes now, please send some guys over.
I think the best way...
This is just stupid. Someone suicidal is probably having a horrible day they're listening to this joke.
No, they're using this advice.
It's very mafia-like, but, just get a boat, get a cement block, just go out in the middle of a lake and tie yourself to it and just jump off, and everything will be taken care of. The fish will have something to eat.
Yeah.
You'll no cleanup. Maybe somebody will have to retrieve the boat, but that's a small.
Just call beforehand. This boat might be wandering.
Having water shoved through your esophagus into your lungs and expanding your whole body, expanding all your
Set the engine to low. Maybe let it just go putter back to shore. Very considerate. Everybody's like,
where's he go?
What a nice guy. Listen,
the person
he killed himself, but he was very considerate.
The person you borrowed the boat from, the boat's like coming up to the shore. He's like, oh, he left me a tip. Oh.
Yeah, and put a tip in the boat. Everybody will think very kind, he didn't want to bother anybody, he went out the best way possible.
Could you imagine that, killing yourself?
Unlike Frank, who jumped in from a train and it took 8, we're still finding fingers on the other side of the parking lot.
Could you imagine yourself sitting at the table and someone's all the way in the back, but they put a plastic bag over their head and shot themselves so the brain matter was in the bag? And then they go to the table and there's a $100 tip and it was like, hey, you were a great waitress, keep it up. And then
this is getting dark.
Makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside.
This is the darkest, but I think we're giving people a nice public service announcement.
Yeah, if you kill yourself, just be conservative.
Consider it.
Yeah, don't ruin anybody else's day.
No, don't go flying to buildings. What are you doing, dude? Knock it off. All right, just go jump.
Don't kill yourself.
But don't actually. But if you are going to, do it how Jeff said.
Do it as a practical joke.
Blood is on his hands in the real world. He's a murderer.
This has been a humorous Sleepy Cabin segment. Don't kill yourself.
When you write the suicide note, name Jeff by name. that's the cause for suicide.
Just draw the Sleepy Cabin skull on the.
Draw Jeff's Twitter icon. Print out Jeff's Twitter icon.